Hello, everybody. Giants win. Giants win. 27-22. Final score against the Houston Texans. Um, Eli Manning, 25 for 29, 297 yards, and a touchdown. Eli Manning was on point. Saquon Barkley, 17 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Walt Goodman, 6 carries for 25 yards. And Odell Beckham, 9 catches for 109 yards. He was on point. Sterling Shepard, same thing for him. Rhett, Ellison, a big tight end that's really well. Evan Engram, I hope for the better. It's just not too serious. He was playing well, and then the knee injury came along, and I hope it isn't that bad. Let me see. Kerry Wynn, he got that forced fumble, and he's probably like the best player on that team. Like seriously, and Alex Autry with that pick for him another score. That was really nice for him too. Algie Rosa, he's doing so well in kicking. And in this game, we played so well that all 4 of our drives that we got the ball back, we scored. It wasn't like we scored touchdowns, but we scored, and that's a good thing. The Giants in the first half was so perfect that it was like we had to win. The second quarter, we couldn't really do anything with the ball until like the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left, and it was kind of getting a little GV scariness because I felt like, oh, we're gonna give up another lead, and I didn't want that to happen. So it's like, I mean, there was times where and here's a main point that Eric Flowers wasn't playing. He got benched, and I forgot who was the offensive line for the right tackler, but it kind of did a big impact, even though he gave up 3 sacks, and you're going against J.J. Watt. So, he gave up 3 sacks and some pressure, but of course you're going against J.J. Watt by the Hall of Famer, best, defensive end ever. So you can't really blame him. But seeing that we scored in the first 4 drives in the first half meant something. Now in the second half we kind of died down a bit, haven't got nowhere in the first third quarter and half of the fourth quarter, but we did something for it. And our defense played so wonderful, even though there was times where Deshaun Watson used his legs to get out the pocket, get out the pressure, and get down the field. He was 24 for 40, 385 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but most of them came from him moving out of the pocket. So it's like, yeah. I feel like we played good. I mean, seeing at the end of the game almost came down to us losing or winning, but seeing how we played, I'm really excited for this team now, because seeing that basically the first 2 weeks we could have actually won the game, even though week 1 we could have had a chance to win. Week 2 against the Cowboys, it really depends on if we had played better on offense. But the thing is, we need to have a better. We have a good defense, but it's like when it comes down to keeping the lead, I know the offense should get some points, But if that is not the case, you still have to. I feel like they kept the lead down to a minimum, because technically they could have won the game right there in the second half, but they managed not to. Um, uh, I I felt like the Giants can. I mean, we did when going against the Houston Texans, and their team is struggling as also. Deshaun Watson, the whole team, and I hope for the better for that team. But it's kind of scary to see that it came down to if we didn't score on the final drive of the game. But because we basically had a 17-point lead. It was 20-6 in the halftime, and we had a good lead. I was hoping that we can keep that lead and extend it further. But I had a feeling that the Houston Texans will come back, and it got me a little scared. So I'm glad how we played. Eli Manning is not washed. Like you saw him in the game, guys. Like he was fine. He was so fine. Like I don't understand why people say he's washed, he's done. No. That game, he wasn't washed. I feel like next week against the Saints is gonna be a tester, because even though their secondary is just bad, their defense is still good. And the offense with Drew Brees and Malcolm Evan, I forgot the running back name for the Saints, but seeing those two, it's gonna be a challenge. So I hope that we can, like, I'm sorry if I'm buffering a little bit. I don't know. I'm just trying to inhale myself a bit. But we play well. We're 1-2. Next week we're going against the Saints. That's gonna be a tougher. I mean, the Saints are always good. Drew Brees passing, Brett Favre record for the most yards. I think, was it the most yards or most completions? I don't know which one was it. But it's Drew Brees. We're gonna have to play well. So we're 1-2. We're still fourth in the division because of the divisional loss against the Cowboys. But that win gave us a little spark in our season. We might lose some players like Evan Engram and other players like that, but I can feel like they can bounce back later on in the season and help our team win. So I hope for the better for that. And yeah. And the wide receivers for the Texans, they play well too. Like Will Fuller, 5 for 101 yards. Deshaun Hopkins, 6 for 86 yards. They play well, so it's like I'm glad we got the win. Next week against the Saints, and I hope for the better for next week, because we did play well, but it was scary how the second half went. It was really scary how the second half went. So yeah, I feel like this week was a good week. I was really happy with the team effort, especially with Eli. Like, even though he got sacked a lot, he played perfect, honestly. So yeah, into Washington, 1-2. I'll see you next week.